things we are doing. Okay, so it may be live, but if I am live, the only reason I am live now is because when I went live last week, it was all sorts of crazy stuff happening, meaning YouTube had a lag and a delay. So now I'm doing the live before the live. That's what's live. And I even may change my hat because, I can do that. All right, I'll be right back because officially I'm not starting until about 5 minutes. But at least it's on just in case. And, it's there. All that stuff. But let me get a few things set up. Hello to the star. Hello, star. How's it going? It's going well. Okay. You may not see the star much longer because I may move to a different section. So, let me continue. This is just extra time, just initial time. So hopefully you're able to tell me that you can see and it's all good. Let's see. Okay. One of the things, because as you know, as I'm doing all this prep stuff, I also do live on Instagram, not just here. One moment. I still have a couple minutes before, but Instagram cuts me off exactly at an hour. YouTube, it's a little bit longer, which is good because I can have it go. But that's why YouTube last week, we know what happened. So it's not happening this week. We're going to get it all together. Oh, so you're probably hearing all my bells and whistles of my notifications. Let's see. Almost there. Okay. Almost there doing some last minute things because I still have time. Isn't that nice to be able to have a little time? So I may just, move here because he's feeling like this is where I might want to sit for now. Why not? Okay, so it's almost time. What you're actually seeing is a few things if we can get this stuff going. I feel like sitting by the water, but it may be blown out too much, but maybe it won't be. We'll see. Hopefully the sound is not too crazy for you. And it's almost, I think it's 1 minute away from 11:30, and then I'll start in about a minute. How about that? I told you I might change hats, so it actually may happen, but there you go. I think I need a chair. That's what I'm thinking. Or I could just stand. Do you see? If I end up standing and give you a little tour, that can work. I'm trying to go a little bit higher because, ooh. Did you see that light change? I was just blinded by that light. All right, I think it is officially 11:30 right now, so I'm gonna get a chair. And we're going to sit and have a little Q&A. today, hey. Okay, I just feel like it's a rhyming sort of a day. And so I'm rhyming. And I'm bringing a chair. And I'm going to go live as I'm doing all of that. So as you all know, hey, on YouTube and on IG, as you all know, I always go live on both. I go live on YouTube, I go live on Instagram, and I may go live on Facebook or all these. I'm just trying to get it all straight and sorted out right now. And what's ending up happening is I was going to sit down, but now I realize if you're on YouTube, you can't really see me that well. So I might need to actually get a light. So I'll be back if that's the case. But hey, Alan. Hey, Brazil Connection. Luchin. Oh, so good to see you. Hola. Oh my gosh. I hope you are being so safe. Hey, Joey. I need to make sure you are all being safe. Because that's the most important thing. We boost each other and the world together. So I'm hoping you're being safe. And you're seeing me lean here. Instagram, this light is amazing. Like, look, you see the beach and the ocean and all that. I'm waving. YouTube, I don't know what's going on. You're just making this camera stuff like it's blown out. We got to work on that, huh? We have to. So, hey, Alan. Hey, handsome. You know, you say, hey, beautiful. I say, hey, handsome, because you know, it's just what you are. Mr. Horton, hey, Faith. Oh, my gosh. You know, I was going to reach out to you because I need to know how everything is going with you and the family. So we will talk very soon, as you know. Right. Exactly. Anthony, what's going on? All right. So as you all always know, I'm sending love and hearts and waves and everything to all of you because we all should be doing that. Now, especially for those who are really in major sort of like lockdown mode, especially some of the family and friends in New York. Please make sure you're reaching out so we can stay connected and know what's good. Yeah, overdue for sure. I know. Tonight. That'll be it. Pick up. Oh, I miss you too, Anthony, and all of you. Hey. All right, Anthony, I know you have some moves for us, so we'll get that soon. So what we do here is miss you too. I miss so many of you because we're all friends and family here, and it's just, wow, what a moment, what a time, what a world, what a day, what a place. But we're here together, and that's the most important thing. So that's what we're doing. So, you know, during this whole live portion, I do this thing which is called Q&A with Kwanza Jones, or questions for Kwanza, or however you want to call it. You got questions, I give you answers. It started essentially as a way for everyone who was on the Supercharged team. A lot of them had a lot of different questions just about lots of different things. And as you all know, I do a lot of different things, from investing to real estate to personal development to all sorts of things. So it was really just a way to, okay, pick my brain, let's just talk. And if you have questions and I can be helpful, then I'll answer your questions and I'll try to help in whatever way I can. So the question that I have right now is, why is it so hot in here? Like, you know why? Because I closed all the windows because it was, you know, you got to close the windows. It's COVID-19. You got to close the windows. Okay, I'm joking. Totally a joke, everybody. Totally a joke. And maybe I shouldn't have joked around that. But yes, we're not going to close the windows. I'm going to open it up. But I actually closed the windows because it was cold. It was so windy here at the beach. Like, whoosh, it was. And the sand was coming all in. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. I have a shoeless policy. I mean, I got rules. I always say, I got rules. I got rules for my private jet. I got rules my concrete floors. But actually, it's just because when you are living by the ocean where the sand is, if you have not ever noticed, how many of you have been to a beach? Yeah, have you been to a beach? Let me know if you've ever been to a beach, because I'm sure a number of you all have. And if you've been to a beach, then you certainly know sand gets everywhere in everything. Yes, Anthony, I know you know that shoe policy, right? It applies. That's it. All the time. It does. So that's why. No shoes on inside, because quite frankly, it's like, I'm a firm believer in anything that I do. That's not just about how you do it initially. It's how you do it continuously. That's it. how you do one thing is how you do everything if you're doing it all in the way you should be doing it. So that's why, of course, I'm like, no shoes. You know why? Because I want to make sure I'm able to like take all of the stuff from the day and leave it out there and bring into my space just a moment of calm and peace and serenity and all of that other good stuff. And the byproduct of that is also you don't get dirt on your floors. So, that's wonderful. That's just what I do. So that's why. And that ultimately is why I closed the windows, because it was so ridiculously windy and just sand all over. I was trying to make things a little bit easier, not more difficult. So anyone, hey, Aquetta, all right. I think I had, so I want to know why none of y'all told me this. Do you see this? I didn't even get my nails done. It's COVID. Here's the thing. Why in the world is there makeup on my teeth? And not one of you wrote it down in the chat. Really? Seriously? I thought we were like boost friends. Come on now. You could have been like, Kwanza, teeth. Somebody send me a mouth emoji. Send something. Send me a lipstick emoji or something like, look, girl, fix your face. But you didn't. And since you didn't, I just happened to look up and see it. And I'm like, ooh. So someone tell me now. And I'm coming in really close. Tell me now, is it still there? Because my phones are right there, so I can't use them. Like, okay, you have lipstick in teeth. Okay, Anthony. Really? Now you're going to tell me after I already wiped the whole thing off? Love you too, Aquetta. Tell everyone hello, and I love them. Thanks, Lucien. Oh my goodness, it's gone. Thank you. So now I know it's gone and all of this. Woo! Okay, so here's what we need to do. I am actually going to answer some questions from not just new questions that are popping up, and I've got some questions that are popping up. And let me see. I'm going to answer the IG question first that just came up, and then I'm actually going to answer some questions that came from last week because I wasn't able to get through all of them. And this one is, what are you and your team? Where did my question go? Perfect. So if you're on IG, you all will see it's, what are you or your team doing to stay supercharged? Not asking for me, asking for a friend. Okay, friend. No. So I'm going to answer this. Staying supercharged. Rule number 1, positive mindset. Like literally, positive mindset always. Because, hold on. You all see that? What are they doing over there? I just see some lights in the background. And okay. They're the lifeguard station. It's all good. And YouTube, you saw that. IG, you didn't see it. So staying supercharged, like positive mindset's important. And yes, always, if you can operate with optimism, that is a great place to be. But I consider myself an optimist, but also a realist too. So realistically optimistic. And I realistically know that positive mindset alone is not going to change things, but it certainly can help. It can help in terms of how you are reacting to everything. So that's what I do to stay supercharged, is what the team does to stay supercharged. And most importantly, we realize that we cannot do things alone. So in what ways we can continue to boost and support each other, which is in part sort of what this Q&A is all about. How can we be helpful for each other, not just now, but always? So that's what we do. And then the other thing is, especially for those, who are in places where you're supposed to be staying at home or being safer home. I think that's how safe at home or safer at home in LA is what it's being called. It's really, make sure you're not thinking just about you, because you may feel fine. You may feel just absolutely amazing. However, let's think about others too, because if you're thinking about things beyond yourself, you would probably have a few more moments of social distancing, because you're amazing. Let's make sure we're making sure other people are amazing and safe also. That's absolutely what we need to do. So pretend that if you were positive, what would you be doing? Meaning positive for the COVID-19 virus. You will be distancing yourself socially. That's what you'll be doing. So stay safe, stay supercharged, keep the positive mindset up, and make sure you're reaching out and asking people how they can help. How can we boost each other? All right, so that was question, hopefully. Okay, that answered that one. Now I've got one of the ones, let me pull it up, because this was one from last week. And I'm trying to find it now because I saved it so that I could ask it. Well, I could read it, I could answer it. And it's coming, so give me just a moment. I know it was one of them. One I had, which was, it was about investing. Is now a good time to invest? Um, and it's interesting. Someone had asked me about a real estate investment, and someone asked me about just investing in general. And last week I gave a little bit more information about, okay, how and when and you can potentially invest and what you may want to do and all that other good stuff. But as I say, I'm not a certified financial planner. All the things I'm doing are telling you just stuff that I have done. Hopefully it works for you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. You know, it's different things for different people. But I will say, if you have the ability to and the stomach to, go ahead, invest. You know, you should be, but you should be thinking about it in many different ways. Like what I said before, are you investing in the stock market? Are you doing mutual funds? What type of vehicle are you using to be able to invest? Because what's ending up happening now is, if you have been following and seeing these market shifts, tremendously so, it can be up, it can be down. It's like craziness, all the stuff that is happening. And if you can weather it, if you have the stomach and the funds, that you are fine if they go, then weekly, make sure you're putting something in. It's the whole concept of compounding. That's it. It may go up, it may go down, it may go up, may go down, and we know it's going to continue to fluctuate. It's just what it is. There's stimulus packages, they're not stimulus packages. There are talks about it. It's how is it going to work? How isn't it? So just think about that. Number one, what is your tolerance level? And what is your stomach and your ability to be able to weather all of this? Number two, if you know nothing, don't immediately go do something. Get some education first. Ask some questions. If you want to know more about this, you can send me a text. Just send me a text and, pardon me, I got a beep and it's just throwing me off. Send me a text and you can ask me and I can give you more resources and all sorts of things. And also I'll have a workshop or a webinars. We do webinars in these days. Don't you all understand that? We don't do some of this IRL stuff as much. Not as much. So send me a text. You can text Ask ASK. That's Ask ASK. You got it one more time? Ask. Ask ASK to 833-672-0275. Make sure you text me, Ask 833-672-0275, and I can send you information about when the next webinar will be, and I'm going to go into more finance one. Hey, Sydney. Hey, Brian. Hey, check it out. Kyle, I know that's you. Okay, so let me go to one of the next questions that we have here. And I'm moving things all around. Did you hear that squeaking? I was trying to move it. It's like Instagram, the light is really good. YouTube, I'm getting stuff blown out in the back unless I point back there. You see, when I point back there, it shows you the blue and then it's dark. I'm trying to straighten up some lighting and try to get it together. Okay, hey, Jody, what's going on? All right, so you leave me on. Okay, I am looking at all of that. Let's see. Let me go to this next one. So I did a question from IG. I did one from last week, which may have been YouTube. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. Let me go back to IG and let's see what's happening. Hey, best friend. Actually, you know what I have to do? Before I answer this question, I need all of you all in the chat box. Yes, all of you in the chat box, type, hey, boost friend. And you know why I have you do that? It's because we are boosting each other to be better. And right now, as always, we should be thinking about how we can boost each other. So that's why I say, hey, boost friend. And that's where it comes from. So we've got a question from Mr. Horton. And that is, I think that's Amir, huh? How do you allow the responsibility in saying more money, more problems to not overwhelm you? I gotta lean back on that one. I gotta fall out the chair on that one. Okay, for those of you on IG, you see, here, I'm in a chair. I was gonna stand up and I said, let me just get comfortable. This chair happens to do this. It leans back. So when I got that question in there, I think that's you. I had to lean back because, the responsibility of saying more money, more problems. How does it not overwhelm me? So I think there's a couple things. I think if you're in a position to be financially, to have a strong financial foundation and strong financial standing, and whenever you have or are able to acquire and attain and earn and grow and achieve in terms of having more money, a lot of people will say more money, more problems. And what that means to me is it's more money, more things you have to think about. But we all have to think about a lot of stuff, because when you don't have the money that you want or that you're hoping to, you have problems one way. When you have what it is, you have problems another way. So it's really about the mindset that you have overall. And it's always, when you think of funds and you think of finances, money is nothing but a magnifier. It's a magnifier for who you already are. So it can magnify if you are generous, if you're giving, it's going to magnify that even more. If you are stingy, if you are selfish, it's going to magnify that even more. If you are philanthropic, it's going to magnify that even more. Because I know there are times when you could be giving to whatever your local cause, your church, your charities, any of those things that are important to you. And by giving, it's not just meaning you're giving with your money. You could be giving your time, you could be giving your talent, you could be giving your treasure or your resources. Like, there's so many ways that you give. What motivates you? Like, all of us have a responsibility, regardless of what numbers are in our bank account. All of us have a responsibility. And once we realize we have a responsibility to ourselves and to others, most importantly, to know that we always have to be of service. It doesn't overwhelm you always. Nothing should overwhelm, because you're like, you just take it on as if being of service is one of the most important things you can do. Whether the service is you're of service in a financial way, you're of service in other ways. So I don't let it overwhelm me in terms of more money, more problems. But yeah, but I will say, there are a lot of things that are involved with that. And I would say it's more like more money, more strategic planning, more money, more opportunities for you to provide opportunities, more money, more need for you to make sure you have various things in order. And this should always be a baseline of trust regardless. It shouldn't matter how many zeros you have behind your name or in your bank account or any of that. Trust is foundational in everything. Certainly what you find with more money at times is that sometimes the trust that you're hoping is there may be faux trust. So you're like, okay, well, you just have to have more money, more background checks. More money, more background checks. There we have it. Hopefully that answered your question. Hey, Pooja, what's going on? Hey, Boost friends. So we got our Hey Boost and friends. So I went to IG for some questions, and I went to YouTube for questions. I went back to IG for questions. I answered some questions that I had from yesterday, because I had a webinar yesterday, and I answered some questions from last week that I did not get to. So let me go back to a couple other things, which are, oh, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And you know what? We can talk even more, because I gave you the high level. Oh, I'm back to answering Mr. Horton. I think it's Amir's question. A question about this. I can give you more concrete information about techniques and strategies and things that you need. Do you all see the truck? Okay. Hey, truck. All right, they're just driving down the beach, just so you know, like nothing's happening. They don't know that, like, we're going live, we're talking, question and answer. That, come on. So what I will do is, if you really want more concrete strategies about when and how you should always be setting yourself up so that you are straight with some of your finances, what are some of the accounts you may want to be setting up? What are some of the things you may want to be thinking about, where and how, whether it's where and how you want to put your money, or quite frankly, just how you need to be thinking about it. So if you're not where you want to be, but you know where you are going and where you would like to be, there are a number of things you can do now to make sure you're set up in a place so that you are set when you are set. Get it? You want to be set when you're set. And oftentimes what happens is sometimes people will come into a windfall. And you see it a lot of times. Sometimes you'll see it with athletes or entertainers where they get large sums of money at one time, but they've never been, and I'm not generalizing, but you often will hear things. You don't, when you finally have a certain amount of money, you don't just then start to learn what to do with money. You need to start learning about it way before. You need to start educating yourself way before. So we can talk about that. Ask. Remember, ask is what you need to do. Text me. ASK, that's what I need you to do, and just text me. And if you text me, ask, you can ask me some of your questions, and you're going to text it to 833-672-0275. And if you want me to have that webinar about more strategies around how to make sure you are set and setting yourself up for financial success too, and what to do when you have where you want to be and how you want to be, text me, ask 833-672-0275. All right, so let me go back to IG, YouTube. I'm going over and I'm actually hopping over to some of the questions from last week. So one moment. I am trying to find it. Okay, so we have a question which was from last week, and that is, how do you make small little changes today to create a better future for tomorrow? That's a great question. How do you make small little changes for today to create? Hey, Luis. Hey, Joe. How do you make small little changes for today to create a better future for tomorrow? Okay. The good thing is, you know that it requires small little changes. That's the good thing, which in other words, it's habits, it's rituals. What are the things that you do? How do you do those things? There's a book, Professor Stanford, Brian Fogg, and it's called Tiny Habits. And it really is good when you're thinking about all change. Oftentimes it comes as a result of nothing but the habits. It's the habits. Hey, Boost friend, Matt at Fresh. It's the habits that you do. Like, that's the thing. Now the question becomes, how do you make something a habit? Because when you're asking, how do you make small little changes today? I'd say the answer is find a way to make it a habit or make it ritual. How do you find a way to make it a habit or make it ritual? Keep it super simple. What are the things you do every single day? And I say this often because if you think about that and you're really conscious about, okay, here's the stuff I do every day. Every day I brush my teeth. Do you? I don't see anybody writing that you brush your teeth. Do we really need to talk about your oral hygiene? That's what I want to know. Really, I hope you all are telling me every day you brush your teeth. The fact that no one has responded that you brush your teeth, I'm really perplexed. You know what is happening right now? COVID-19. Come on, people, brush your teeth. So anyway, as an example, if every day you brush your teeth, then you know you have found a way to make that a habit. And maybe you found a way to make, I'm so glad you brushed your teeth, Ria. Yes. If the way you found to make brushing your teeth a habit was because your parents made it a habit for you, or you made it a habit for yourself, take it back to that. Take it back to thinking, what is it? If it was something like a parent making you have to do something that turned it into a habit for you, then all that means is you may need someone to be accountable to. And so how can you solve the issue of making small little changes today? Find out if you're the person who needs someone to be accountable to. And if you do, then hey, Boost friend, that's what we are here for. We are boosting each other to be better. We have a Boost Friends community, so you can even join our Boost Friends community. Just text ASK. Once again, just text me ASK. I've sent the information, and I'll actually put it in the chat too, about where you can text ASK, and I'll tell you about it, because it's all about how we boost each other. So if what you need to do is boost yourself by having someone who can hold you accountable, then I'm not trying to be your best friend. I'm going to be your boost friend. Maybe what you need is someone to help boost you to do that. That's if you are someone who's saying, hey, I want to be accountable. I need some people to help me be accountable. If instead you're like, I got it. Once I set my mind to something, I'm doing it regardless, no matter what, then it's a mindset issue. What do you need to set your mind to? How do you link it with things that you're already doing? So if going back to the brushing your teeth, since now I know, yes, ma'am, I'm seeing people saying they brush their teeth, so I love it. If you brush your teeth and you do that every day, the small change that you want to make, find time to do it immediately after you brush your teeth, because you already know that's something that you do habitually. You're doing it every single day. So what is that thing that you want to work on? Do it immediately after that. And if that means, hey, you need to wake up a little bit earlier so you can have 5 or 10 or 15 minutes extra to get to do that thing that's building that small, daily, consistent habit. The key to change is consistency. The key to success is consistency. The key to massive, 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 overwhelming things that you never even knew or imagined you would be able to achieve is consistency. All right, so hopefully that question gives you a little more insight there. Let me go back to one of the others. Oh, all the love to all of you, all too. Hey, Boost Friends, it's what we're here for. It's what I'm here for too. Now, I answered the changes and the habits, and we talked about some finance things. And let's see, what else did we talk about? Let me see. The one moment, I'm trying to find this. Let's get to the next one. And this question is from Mike. And this was also, all right. So hold on, IG, and hold on, YouTube, because I have a question that was from last week. And last week's question, and I always say, if I didn't get to your question this week, I am going to get to it. Or rather, if I didn't get to your question and you asked it in a previous week, I'm going to prioritize answering those questions because it's almost like you were first in line from before. So Mike asked last week, what's the most important financial advice you would give to a 25-year-old? Okay. Since I already told you last week I was 27, I've got lots of insight on this just for you, Mike. Let me do this. I got to actually stand up on this one. Whoo, stretch out on that one. Now I'm going to sit back down. The reason I did that is to show that you have to take action. That's the most important financial advice that I can give. Action. So essentially, the most important advice is take action in preparing yourself for not just what is here, what is now, what is today. Take action in preparing yourself for what will be, what is to come, what you hope to be. That's the whole most important thing that you can do. So what does that mean, Mike? Because I'm not quite sure where you are along your financial journey. Do you have a checking account? Do you have a savings account? Do you have a money market account? Do you have an IRA? Do you have a 401k? Do you have a certificate of deposit? Like all of those things. I'd say the core foundational thing is to take action and assess where you are now with your finances. And even if we're saying you don't even know what you have now, that's a great assessment now too. Where am I? Where am I? What am I doing right now? Once I know what I'm doing right now, then I can start figuring out where I want to be and what I want to do. And what I mean by that is if you're just like, okay, and as we all know, super uncertain times now, especially with everything with COVID-19, it is really changing how businesses are and some of the various business practices and business plans for a lot of different companies. So in this instance, if you're looking at it and you're like, okay, well, I'm 25 and I get a check, then I get a check every 2 weeks, or I get a direct deposit, or I get paid this way. Here's what I want to save. Am I spending less than I make? Because that's always a good sound financial advice. If you spend less than you make, even if you don't know what it is that you want to do, you'll at least start getting in the habit of understanding that you're able to have, I'm going to use the word balance, but what I mean by balance is you're able to have insight into, I don't have to immediately have everything come in and then immediately go out. So if you're understanding foundationally, baseline, when things come in, it's okay to let only a little bit go out. You don't have to let all of it go out. You can hold on to some for what? COVID-19 days. Some people would say for rainy days. It would be that, hey, save it for a rainy day. But in this time, save it for a time when you don't know when there's going to be uncertainty. And if you do that, the most important thing financially is assess where you are, start understanding how you can save, start understanding how you can grow it. But the only way you can start thinking about that is initially saying, where am I now? Once again, if you go in and you text me, ASK to 833-672-0275, then in one of the webinars that we do on finances and some different strategies and ways we can talk about that, I can do a deeper dive because it'll be helpful then to actually get a little bit more insight into what your specific scenario and situation is. Now it's a little bit more general. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so let me see and go to the next question that we have. And I'm really close to the camera for YouTube because I'm trying to touch my phone. Hey, Jason. And the girl dress. All right, Andrew, what is going on? Let me go to this next question. One moment. I'm going to, in a moment, actually turn it around to you all for questions. And you know I'm turning it around to you for questions? Hold up, I got to do this thing so I can see all of this. All right. So the reason I'm turning this around to you for questions is because now I have a question for all of you, and I want you all to give me an answer, please, and thank you. This very simple question is, how are you? How are you? How are you? Like right in this very moment, how are you? Are you good? Are you safe? Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you anxious? How are you? Just send me a chat because I'm really, write it in the chat. I'm really concerned and really want to know. So, and I'm also going to wave at you all too. One moment. I don't see anybody telling me how you are, so I'm going to assume you are absolutely motherfucking flawless. That's what I'm just going to assume. That's how you are. Okay, pardon my English, but for those who know, that's one of my songs, Flawless, and the first line goes, absolutely. The non-clean version is motherfucking flawless, but the clean version is positively flawless. So I should have said, I'm going to assume you're absolutely positively flawless, even in the midst of all of the stuff that's going on. Oh, you're doing good, safe. Okay, so get those groceries. I'm glad you're safe. In truth, tired. I get it. Healthy. Thank God, healthy, and we're happy about that. And lots of people tired of being in the house. So, hey, just take a moment. Enjoy. Now you're in my house. And then maybe I can be in your house, just not really in your house. But at least this way, this gives you one moment mentally to get a break from your usual space. So there you are. Enjoy the ocean. And hopefully now you don't feel like you're in your house and tired of being in it, even though you still are there. But in your mind, you're not. Okay. Oh, killing it. Thanks to be safe and working in this time. All right. Made me look at what I have versus what I don't. Wow. So here's the thing that's so fantastic. On IG as well as on YouTube, in answer to the question, how are you all? Almost at the exact same time, I'm seeing answers where people are saying grateful. And that, to me, is the most important thing. Is grateful. And thinking about what you have versus what you don't is a way of always being grateful. I always talk about I live from a place of gratitude, not a place of entitlement, but a place of gratitude always. And in doing that, it essentially means that no matter what happens, and we know, sorry about that ding, that's my message is coming up, but we know if you're, or I can certainly say, if you constantly live from a place of gratitude, constantly, then no matter how uncertain times are, no matter how things are, whether they're going good, whether they're going bad, you can always be thankful and you can always be grateful. And when you live in that place always of gratitude, your attitude changes. And it changes for the better because you understand that nothing is a given and you take nothing for granted. And it makes you appreciate what you have even more. It makes you appreciate and value your family, your friends, your colleagues, your workers, and like all of those things, the work that you do, the impact that you make. So always, 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 always thank you all. When I asked how you're doing, and some of you are saying good and healthy, and all right, some people are feeling cute. Hey, lots of people flawless, and so many good and grateful. I want to thank you all for that because that helped me share it with everyone else too. So now, hey, I'm glad you are so great. Ooh, thank goodness for savings. Yes, see, we have somebody who was talking about thank goodness for savings. That took it back to that finance thing. Always have some sort of rainy day COVID-19 fund. Okay, once again, may not have been a COVID-19. And even if you're in the midst of it now, think about what is it you can do to try to scale back a little because it's still uncertain. It's still uncertain, but just think about ways that you can be mindful. So, all right. Oh, you are welcome. Thank you for this and this gorgeous view. I know you're not talking about my hat. You're talking about that, aren't you? Huh? I know I am grateful. I absolutely am. And I'm happy and wonderful and grateful that that you're able to see the view and enjoy something a little bit different today. So good and grateful and love and wonderful and happiness. So I'm going to go back to the questions now since I had my moment. It's questions Q&A with Kwanza. I just flipped the script and turned it into me asking you all some questions too. But now I'll go back and I'll continue to answer your questions. Both? Okay. Why, thank you. Thank you. I said it last week that I wore yellow last week because I wanted to feel like sunshine and it was a little overcast. And today it actually is not overcast. It's like blue skies and blue, beautiful ocean, sandy beach. And so maybe the hat helped bring the sun and all of this, but who knows? I had no hand in it at all. So here we go. I got a question, and this question is from Tony. And Tony is asking, one moment. Okay, I'm going to get to this next IG question really quick while I answer this one. What's your financial advice for making $1 from 1 million people? That's very interesting. What's your financial advice for making $1 from 1 million people is what Tony asked. That is really interesting. You know what it is? I don't even think of that as much as financial advice as maybe that's business and strategic advice about how you can do that. You all have heard of all of the different crowdfunding sites, and there are a lot of them out there. You've heard of Kickstarter, you've heard of GoFundMe's. There are so many different ways, and I know now, how can you get someone to give up that $1? Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's more difficult. Tony, I'm going to flip it back on you and ask you this question. Excuse me. Think not about what's the dollar that you can make from 1 million people. Think about what's the value you can give to 1 million people. Because you think about the value that you can give for 1 million people, then it's going to change your question from how do I make $1 from 1 million to if I am able to provide this value that is at least $1's worth of value to 1 million people, then I can start finding and putting things in places that can help monetize so that they actually, all you have to do is start receiving some of that. And whether that is something that you are selling, maybe it's information, maybe it's time, maybe it's consulting, maybe it's a product that you have created. I think those are things you need to think about. But I think that one of the things you also want to do is think about whatever it is that you are offering and whatever it is that you are selling. Maybe it's an app, maybe it's something digital, maybe it's something physical. Maybe you're setting up a way that you are consulting with people and they're going to pay you in some way. The big thing you need to also figure out is how are you going to collect the money that you are going to be making? So you got to look at some of these different platforms that are out there too. Are you using Square? Are you using PayPal? Or are you going to have people then pay you for Venmo? How are you going to make sure you're able to say, here's the value that I am providing so that now you're able to be paid for some of that value that you're providing, but how are you going to actually get that money into your account? So I like to think not only from a strategic level, but also from a very realistic level. Realistically, if you have a business, what are you doing? What's your payment processing plan? How are you going to get that $1 from 1 million people? So we can go, once again, text me, ASK to 833-672-0275, and that's going to come to me and text me, and then I'll get the message, and I'll be able to answer your message. And because on one of the webinars also that we have is we've got our finance webinars, we have some of our life strategies webinars and some of our business strategies webinars, and then we can do even a deeper dive because a lot of these things when I'm doing these. Oh, pardon me, I need some water. But a lot of these things when we're doing these question and answer moments here, I try to give as general overview as I can, but I know I'm not able to go and do as many deep dives as I would like to do because I don't have all the details, which means I need to ask even more questions of you so I can then give a little more information. So hopefully that helped at least a little bit. At least start thinking not what you can make, but what you can give. When I talked earlier about being of service, what is it you can give? Because even as a business owner, even as whether you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, what is the value that you are providing for people? What are the problems that you are solving for people? That is what you need to figure out. And then once you figure that out, then you can start saying, well, or while you're figuring that out, let me also do the technical things of how am I going to do the collection of all of that. All right, so that was the question there. And let me go back to, hey, Desiree. I don't want to, I don't like not pronouncing people's name the correct way. So, hey, Kai. So what I think, Desiree, I'm just happy that you're here. And I'm going to go back to IG for a question now. And let me do that because I did my YouTube questions. I did my IG ones. I did some ones from last week. And here we go. How would you go about determining what stocks to invest while the market is down? Apuje. Let me tell you, we need to talk offline. That's how I would. That's what we need to do. We can and we will. Definitely, everybody, send me ASK. Send me a text to ask me where and how and when I'm having the webinar for some of the financial strategies and things of that sort. So text me 833-672-0275. Text me the word ask and we'll do it. But I'll give you a quick overview. Desiree, thank you. Thank you. I didn't mean to mispronounce your name. I thought it was Ray, but I didn't know if you were rhyming Desiree with Cherie. Sorry, Desiree, like a ray of sunshine. Okay, thank you all for your patience because I had to acknowledge saying Desiree's name correctly. Now, Pooja, I'm going to get back to answering your question. I think even in determining what stocks to invest while the market is down, there's some that feel like they are, and I'm not going to go tell you all the different things to invest, although I could tell you some of the stuff I'm investing in, but maybe you'll just have to wait. The webinar, let's go in the webinar because then we can really do a deep dive and lots of Q&A in there. So text me ask to 833-672-0275 and I'll be able to give you even more insight into that. But I think the approach towards determining it has been the approach that's historically been the approach. Research. Look and see. And what would be really interesting is look and see during the financial downturn that happened about 10 years ago, if not a little bit more, even 2008, what was happening then? What were things from then that are still around now? See if those are some that are still doing well. Maybe it's something you could consider. What are things that if you feel like they are always going to be companies one moment. You all see those helicopters? They're like military helicopters and they're really low. Okay. Pardon me, I got distracted, but you see the military helicopter over your shoulder, you turn around and you look. That's what you do. Okay, so that's what I would say. Look and see in other instances where there have been downturns, see what is still existing and what's lasting even beyond that. That could be a good starting point. The other thing is also look and track. Go back from last week to week before, to week before, to a month before, to a month before, and start looking there and seeing if you can notice any patterns and seeing if you can notice any trends. The biggest thing is if you think you are going to invest in something now, do not put it all in at the same time. Because what's going to happen if you're like, let me put it all in just once. I've got this chunk of savings that I have, and now I want to take advantage of this distressed time and this distressed market, and everything is just super crazy now. So that means there are opportunities right now. So let me just go now and get it all in there in this one stock. Please do not do that. What you want to do is make sure you're able to take advantage of, it's almost like compounding. Every week, it's far better for you to do a little bit every week and ride it out, because if not, the fluctuations are too great and it's too great happening. Can you withstand losing it all or losing a huge significant amount because you put it all in at the same time? That I would not advise you to do. Once again, I'm not a certified financial planner or advisor. I'm only telling you the stuff that I've done or that has worked for me, and I can share from my experiences, but just think about it. So that's it. Do some research, Apuje, start doing that, and join me on that webinar, and we'll go into even more, because I'd like to be able to ask you some questions back, which I would then be able to give me even more insight into some suggestions I would give. And, you can take them or leave them for whatever they're worth. But yeah, there certainly are opportunities to be had right now, but you got to be strategic about how you're doing it and making sure no matter what, do not just do it all at one time. You definitely don't want to do that. All right. So hopefully that helped. Okay, now got more waves. Hey, Naveen, what's going on? And I'm not sure who this is, but I'm going to say Ria because it looks like at least Ria HR. Love Shar, how's it going? Now, let me go to one of the next ones. Here's the thing. Actually, because I think we only have about 10 or 15 minutes left. Oh, we're still good. We were in just a hey. I'm waving in person because it's going to take me just a moment to go click it on here. Helpful? Oh, you're welcome, Apuje. No problem at all. And that's it. When I tell you all we're Boost Friends and here, hey, Boost Friend, hey, Boost Friend, hey, Boost Friend, hey, Boost Friend, it's to really help boost each other to be better. If I have information, if I have knowledge, if there's anything that I can help and provide that can be helpful for you all, it's not hurting me at all to do that. And that's what we all need to remember. Rising tide lifts all boats. And we're all in all of these things and situations and moments together. So if we're all doing better, we all do better. So let's think about that. Let's not go on the whole scarcity toilet paper run. Come on, people, that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't. There are many ways you can wipe your ass. Think about it. Think about it. When you were in diapers, once upon a time, they were cloth diapers, weren't they? So you don't need all the toilet paper products. Let's make sure we're thinking about our healthcare workers and thinking about their needs and the front line of everything that's going on. But that's my tangent that I happen to go off on because it's important. And I just had to. Oh, Chelsea, you said amen. And sister, I am right there with you, Boost Friend, because it is. It's so important. Like it's so important for all of us to absolutely understand we are all privileged. Like we are all privileged to be alive in this moment and in this time, even if it means that it's difficult for us. Because out of all this difficulty, we're going to really realize what are the things that are important to us? What are the things that we need? How can we create new opportunities out of obstacles? And if we can do all of this and become better even together, we're all going to be better for it as a world, as a society, as a whole. So before I answer one of the next questions, because I've got about 10 minutes left. So we're still good. We're still good, Boost Friends. This is so wonderful. I am just happy to be able to spend some time with you all today. Just overjoyed that you took the time to come in and just hang out and chat with me, and overjoyed that we can all be here together, even when we are not literally physically together. Very true. We'll be okay. That's right, Miss Conversation Piece. Yes, girl, you know it. Let me mention also, before I answer this next question, that I'm going to be doing a live on IG with Blogger. Essentially, it's going to be a morning boost to start your day. So for more information, make sure you go to queenmovesonly.com so you can get more info on that. And even if you don't remember that, text me, as I keep saying, because I have my phone right here. Text me, ask to 833-672-0275. And you can even be asking, hey, what are some of the next upcoming live events that you're having? What are the conversations you're having? What are the webinars you're having? Like all of this. While we're here doing the things that we're doing, meaning all of us making sure we are being safe and keeping others safe too, let's share the love. Let's spread the knowledge. Let's help each other in whatever way it is that we can. That's what we must do. So I'm going to go to this question that we have coming on now. And this one, okay, somebody wrote the 2020 TP crisis or toilet paper crisis. Here we go. Okay, so we've got a question. What are some of the books you read to get the financial knowledge you have? Well, let me see. You know what it is? It isn't even books as much anymore. I used to consume so many books. I love reading. Love reading. But it's actually now a lot of the things are publications or blog posts or things of that sort. I am one who believes in going directly to the source. So by that, I mean, I'll do things like, let me see what's going on. I'm going to read the Wall Street Journal. I'm going to look at Fortune. I'm going to look at the markets. I'm going to look at the financial news. I'm going to try to see, okay, where are stocks, for example? You all know your phone, whatever you're on. If you are here with me on YouTube and you are here with me on IG, then guess what? I absolutely know you have at your disposal some sort of smartphone or device or some sort of computer where you can then go research, research, and find the things that you need to find. You can have an app, you can pull it up, you can look at news, for example. Even on the phone in here, I'm able to go and I set my selections so that one of the apps I use, I'm watching the market each and every day. I'm tracking what's going up and what's going down. And here's the thing, before I even knew a lot about this, because a lot of people end up saying, like, oh, well, how do you learn? The thing that you're doing, this conversation piece, is exactly how you learn. You start asking questions. And so if some of the questions that you're asking help give you and point you in a direction and a path so that you can start learning even more, I'd say you need to start figuring out from a financial knowledge, books I read. Forget even about the books I read. Even now, you can get more information even faster. Instead, let's go in and look at the apps and look at some of the financial publications and start learning and understanding the lingo. Because if you start understanding the lingo, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I don't know what that word means. Let me go look up what that word means. And you don't have to look it up in Urban Dictionary. That's not where you need to go. Although it's very entertaining and I love Urban Dictionary and it's great, but you can start looking up. There are so many financial terms and dictionaries and sources and resources where by putting yourself in a place and exposing yourself to things where you are learning about things that you don't know and it's uncomfortable and maybe it gives you a headache because you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what this means. What that's going to do is open the doorway for you to learn even more. And you continuously just surround yourself with people, with knowledge, with information that helps answer these questions for you. And suddenly it's going to click even more. So with the financial knowledge that I have before I did investing, sure, whether it was stock market, whether it was mutual funds, whether it was CDs, whether it was bonds, whether it was, real estate, commercial real estate, residential real estate, any of those, I put time in to learn it. And I continuously do. Because here's the thing about knowledge. You never stop. There is no way any of us, as much as I would love to know everything, I know I'm never going to know everything. I know I'm not. We just don't have enough time to know everything. But I know I'm going to try my hardest to try to learn as much as I can, always and constantly be learning. So that's it. Make sure you're surrounding yourself not just with books and things that are set in a period of time, also what's constantly changing and updating. So once again, text me, ask, 833-672-0275, and send me your, well, if you text me, then I guess I'll have your phone number. And I can send you a list of some of the books, some of the publications, even more that I'm doing there. And that'll hopefully be helpful for you. And you can also join me on one of the finance webinars. I think we're going to be having that next week or week after next, and I can give you even more insight. Okay. All righty. Hopefully that helped, Miss Conversation Piece. Good to see you. Now, let me go to, let's get this one. I have like 5 minutes left. And I am trying to, one moment, I'm trying to clear the question here. Perfect. Got it. Hey, Drew Boo. All righty. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. You are welcome. But really, I want to be as helpful as I can for you. So I would ask you even more questions of, all right, what sort of finance things do you want to know? Is it in a specific area? Is it for personal finance? Is it for business finance? Is it for individual purchases? Is it for real estate investments? Like, I need to know more information, which is why, once again, all of the time when we're doing all these things with these Q&A lives, they're great starting points. But in order for me really to dig in even deeper and give you a little bit more info and insight and advice or suggestions, I have got to be in more communication with you, which is why I keep saying, join me on the webinars, because then we can go back and forth and really do a deeper dive and get some questions answered so I can then provide even more resources for you. Okay. All right. Hey, I love Drew Boo's hand. Your shake, your wave. I'm saying your shake. See, I told you I was thirsty, and I have been sitting there with this, realizing I didn't drink it. I'm like, why is my mouth so, it's dry? Like, Oh, I feel so much better. I guess the straw is biodegradable. Okay, so here we go. Now, let me see. I have 5 minutes left. Hey, Spirit Speaks, what is going on? So good to see you. I've got 5 minutes left. And on this one, I'm seeing hearts and waves and loves, and I'm giving all of that right back to you too, even though I'm not pressing it in here because I got my water in one hand and I'm trying to go between YouTube and Instagram and my phone and my Slack and all these other stuff. So here we go. I probably have time for 1 or 2 more questions. It depends on how long the questions are. I will try to make them answers as short as possible so I can get to as many as possible. So anyone have a question, make sure you put it in the chat box in whichever platform you are in. And I am going to get to one other one. Let me see. I have a question. I see Joe is like sending hearts and love to Spirit. So, we'll take all of that. All of us will too. I know you sent it to some other people, but we're taking it all because we're Boost friends here and we're boosting each other to be better together because that honestly is what we need to do. Okay. I am looking and I'm seeing which one of these questions I can answer that is not a super long one. One moment. Here we go. We did financial advice, creating small changes. Let me go in here. We've got another financial one. Okay. So we had a question, which is how can we connect members of our Boost Friend community? Hey, Boost Friends! To help each other and may want to help each other. So here's what you can do to join our Boost Friend community. Text the word BF invite. That's B as in boost, F as in friend, invite as in I, Kwanza Jones, am inviting you to be part of the entire Supercharged Boost Friend community. BF invite. Text BF invite. Text it to me right here, and it's going to come to me. So text me, and I'll respond to you too, because I'm so much better at texting and than I am with email. I've got like 142,000 unread emails. So text me. It's much better. So text me at 833-672-0275. Text the word BF invite. That stands for Boost Friend Invite. And that way you can become, and I'll send you the information to become part of the Supercharged by Kwanza Jones Boost Friend community. And in that community, we boost each other to be better. We're doing all the things to make sure we can be as positive influences and accountability buddies and partners to each other and helping each other in whatever way we can. And with that, even inside of our community, we're then able to ask questions like, what do you need help with or advice on? And we're able to see what are certain skills that you have that may be helpful for some other people in the community so that we can continuously boost each other to be better. So text me once again, BF invite to 833-672-0275. And that was the last question that we had because I got 1 minute left. And that question was, how can we connect to your Supercharged community and how can people help each other? The Supercharged community is called the Boost Friends community. Why? Because we're Boost Friends. And that's why I say, hey, Boost Friend. And I say, I'm not trying to be your best friend. I'm going to be your Boost Friend because what we need, no one succeeds alone. Sometimes you need a boost. And I want to thank you all for being here with me today and boosting me because it is so amazingly wonderful to know we are not alone in the midst of all of these things we're going through. And quite frankly, we never are alone. It just ends up taking time and sometimes situations like this for us to realize it. So I'm sending much love, much light, much joy, much happiness, positive vibes, prayers, best wishes. Hey, Barbie. To each and every one of you. And I hope you got to enjoy the view a little bit today. I'll be back next week. I'm going to start doing a few more questions and answers. And even in the mornings, just doing, or in the day, every day, at least 3 times a week, doing some sort of boost so we can make sure we're getting that boost that we need when we need, which is not just once a week. I will still be having the Q&A once a week. I'll have the webinars coming a number of times a week because that's really where we can deep dive into some things that are helpful. Oh, Drew Boo, I'm glad you love the view. Hey, and that rhymed. And The number one more time is 833-672-0275. 833-672-0275. I should probably type it, but if someone can write it out for me in one of the things, let me do it because it's saying I have 30 seconds left. Hey, Queen Moves Only, please type that for me, 833-672-0275. It is the BF community. Queen Moves Only is the female version. Hey, thank you, Kyle. Queen Moves Only is our content that we do, not just for females or for queens, because queens, it's not about just being a queen. It's about making queen moves only, which we know is about energy, action, strategy, all of that. So BF invite, so you can be part of the Boost Friends community. Love, light, joy, happiness to you. I'll see you very soon. Mwah. IG, 2 seconds. I love you. Take care. Bye for now. Okay, now for YouTube, here's the thing. You'll always get the extra 30 seconds. You know why? Because YouTube, you don't cut off. But now I can properly say, I'm wishing you also love and light and happiness. That's right, Renato. It's the after party. Hey, that's it. Yeah. Okay. That was just a minute. It's an after party. Of course you have to dance. Of course you have to dance at an after party. Once again, make sure, and you all should have been seeing it in the chat thread. Any other questions you've had? Of course, shoot, Renato just said grab a coaster. You know it, see? Any other questions you have, make sure you text ASK to 833-672-0275 and to join the Boost Friend community. That's the Supercharged Boost Friend community, and that's my company, Supercharged by Kwanza Jones. Then you want to text BF invite. Now, actually put it in here. Oh, never mind. It's already in there. Exclusive invite for the Boost Friend community. BF invite to 833-672-0275. And really what we're able to do is a lot of the questions, like a lot of times when people are asking me a lot of these various questions, I can't go into as much of the details and specifics as I would like to because I don't have enough information. It's got to be a two-way conversation for me to have more information. Hey, and that rhyme. And then I can give you even more suggestions and things that may be helpful. Okay, everybody, sending love, peace, happiness, joy, light your way. Make sure you are taking care of yourself and you are taking care of others too. Keep boosting yourself and others to be better together, because that dog, oh, they're not supposed to be dogs on the beach. You know, it's a $500 fine. Oh, well. The dog was trying to interrupt my saying goodbye to all of you, but hopefully not much longer. Okay, that's it. Sending love your way. Who loves you? I do. Bye for now. And stay supercharged. Ria, of course. Like I know you have said, it's not the pets, it's the people. Take care. Bye for now. I'll see you soon.